Behind me is my herd of 100 dairy cows. That is the main outcome and the main enterprise on our farm. We export our milk to our cooperative, where it is then processed and exported all around Europe and around the world. My name is Thomas Duffy. I'm a Vice President of CEJA, the Federation of Young Farmers of Europe, and we're here on my farm in Northeast Ireland. In terms of sustainability, young farmers are changing a lot of things. We are changing the way that we cultivate our soils. We are changing the crops that we're using. Even in farming and in grazing, we are changing a lot of the practices. We are becoming more clever around the way we apply fertilizers, the way that we apply plant protection products. So one of the key things that we try to do as both livestock farmers and farmers in general is to find new crops and new practices to try and increase the sustainability. This is one of the ways our farm is doing that. This field hasn't been artificially fertilized with nitrogen for more than 2 years, and yet has yielded high quality, high protein feed for our dairy cows. In the next few years, we're going to have to produce more food than we've ever produced before. The population is increasing globally, so there's going to be a major challenge for farmers. That challenge is exciting to me. How we can produce more by using less resources, by adapting to climate change and trying to give as much space as we can for biodiversity is not an easy challenge, but it's something that really does excite me, and it excites many young farmers around the world. So the reason that I decided to return home to farming was partially that challenge and that ambition to be part of a food production system. But as well as that, it was also the lifestyle that it offered me in terms of being in control of my own farm, in control of my own business. And some days are more difficult than others, but it's always rewarding to be a farmer. In terms of animal welfare, the consumer is increasingly becoming more demanding, and that's understandable. They want to make sure that what their food is coming from is safe, sustainable, and more importantly, that the animals are treated well. This is something that all farmers are concerned with. We work with these animals on a day-to-day basis. Watching them suffering from disease or illness or anything like that is simply not something that farmers can accept. So that's Loki. Loki is one of the first Norwegian reds we ever bred on the farm, and she's been one of my pets since the day she was born. So I was there when she was born. I've been there every year that she's calved, taken care of her, fed her, looked after her, and occasionally when she decided to play with me, been a human scratching post for her. The reality is, though, the consumer needs to pay for that, and at the moment the market often doesn't return enough for farmers to invest in their farm to improve their animal welfare. But still, farmers are rising to the challenge. We need to reduce the environmental impacts of some of our practices and the products that we use. Farms cannot implement measures unless the consumer is either willing to pay or the supports are made available to them. We breed all of our cows to live as long as physically possible in good health and to be healthy so that they can continue to produce nutritional milk. Most of their milk will go for cheeses, butters and milk powders. So it's important to us that the milk is as rich as possible. So at the moment we're yielding about 2,000 litres a day from the cows of about 100. Cows are doing about 20 litres a day at the moment.
My name is Ned Duffy and I'm Thomas's father. When I started off farming here, I only had 23 cows, and because we only had a small base of land.
And because most of these I would have reared them as calves, so I would have been there the day they were born, and I'll hopefully be there every day of their lives, because we do develop a connection with them. As you can see, they have lots of space. They're outside for virtually their entire lives, except for when the winter comes, and then we have to house them for their own sakes. So as I say, look, animal welfare is one of the priorities for us as a dairy farmer, to make sure that our animals are healthy and safe and happy.